Mother. You're alive.
Too bad you will die.
No way, man. No way. Annihilation, and no, not that terrible Mortal Kombat sequel, we're not doing that today, stars Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaac and Jennifer Jason Leigh, and is directed by Alex Garland. Based on the Jeff Vandermeer novel, Annihilation tells the story of Lena, who's a hard-working biologist played very well here by Natalie Portman. It's been a little bit over a year since Lena lost her husband Kane, played by Oscar Isaac in this movie, after he went out on a mission and never returned home. An opportunity for Lena comes up via a group expedition where this group is going into a very dangerous zone inhabited by some very strange organisms known as the Shimmer. Lena jumps at the opportunity as she may get answers for what may have happened to her husband. Annihilation follows in the footsteps of some of my favourite sci-fi mysteries of all time, films like Primer, or Predestination, or Donnie Darko, or the granddaddy of them all, Kubrick's 2001. The thinking man sci-fi, films that truly engage the mind. There's a puzzle at play here, and as audience members, it's our job to try and solve the puzzle as what we think is going on, as we're given pieces of information along the way. And I just love films like that, and that was one of the reasons why I was really looking forward to Annihilation. Now, there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding Annihilation and its theatrical release, and I gotta say, guys, I am deeply concerned for the movie industry right now and what it might mean for the future and theatrical releases, but it's probably a debate for a different time. What happened in this instance with Annihilation is that there was a poor test screening, and clashes ensued between David Ellison, who's a Paramount exec, Scott Rudin, who's the producer on this film, and Alex Garland, who is director. David Ellison demanded changes be made to this film to appeal to more of a mass audience. Put simply, Rudin and Garland didn't budge on this. They kept the film as it was intended to be seen, and Rudin actually got the final cut of the film. Due to this, they lost their theatrical release, and in countries like here in Australia, unfortunately we only got to see this film on Netflix. Which, on one hand, I was so disappointed that I couldn't see this on the big screen, as I feel that that was the way Alex Garland intended for us to experience this film, is on the big screen in a cinema. And so we did lose that aspect. But on the other hand, I am so happy for the sake of storytelling that they kept some artistic integrity here. And they kept the film as it was intended to be. I gotta say, guys, a dumber sci-fi mystery film just wouldn't have interested me, and it wouldn't have interested a lot of fans of this genre. So I'm so glad that Alex Garland stuck to his guns on this, and we see the film as it was intended. Alex Garland, I think, if anything, has probably proven himself to be a master at establishing mood and creating great tension within his films. And an excellent example of that would be his film Ex Machina, which, if I had to describe that film in one word, it would be claustrophobic. It's an excellent film if you haven't checked it out. In Annihilation, Garland opts for a different approach. In Ex Machina, it was very tight. There's a lot of interior shots with a lot of small rooms, a lot of tight spaces, a lot of close-ups. In Annihilation, he goes the opposite direction, and the jungle, which is the primary location for where this film is mostly based, consists of a lot of really cool wide angles, and he really uses the jungle to his full advantage to take advantage of those wide shots. It's absolutely gorgeous to look at. The jungle is full of life, it's full of color, yet the tension is established through not really knowing what this shimmer is about, and danger could be lurking around the corner for these team of women at any particular moment. Garland also understands that sometimes in horror, what we're not shown can be twice as effective as what we are shown. I truly think Annihilation is a beautiful film to look at. It's just absolutely gorgeous. There has been some debate over the CGI effects in this film, and for some people it just didn't work. I think in the context of the story, the location of where the characters are, the scientific information that were actually presented to us throughout the film, I think the CGI effects are fine for this particular film. I think they worked great. This one didn't. Alex Garland, I think, really cares about his main characters in this film, and he really takes the time to flesh these characters out. And Oscar and Natalie also provide really good performances here. There's some really effective scenes that help establish these two as a couple. And there's great performances here, and also great music choices, mostly acoustic guitar, that effectively establish this loving relationship. And so later on in the film, Natalie's really afforded the opportunity to really hit all the emotional beats of a character really grieving over the loss of her husband. But also too, she's also a character who's quite focused. She's quite determined, and she really wants to get the job done. Oscar is also afforded the opportunity, and this is without giving too much of the plot away, he's actually afforded the opportunity to explore a duality within Cain, which I thought was really cool to watch. All these scenes with the main characters are very well done. Now guys, this is an ensemble piece, it is a group mission, but I gotta say that I don't think Alex Garland cares about these other characters as much as he cares about the two main leads in this film. Everyone's just kind of sidelined and not really all that interesting. Possible exception to that would be Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, who plays a psychiatrist. She's given a little bit more to do in this film, but Annihilation is on the verge of almost being overstuffed because we have so much going on here. There's a jungle survival story going on. There's a relationship and a grieving widow. There's also a sci-fi mystery going into this film as well. So we have a lot packed in. Two of these are handled very well. One storyline is handled okay-ish. And the one that's handled okay-ish, I guess for me, would be the jungle survival story. Most of this film is told in backstory, okay, through one of the main characters. And a lot of the tension in this film is created through not knowing whether these characters are going to survive. And with this question answered through the way the film is actually presented, a lot of that tension that Garland is working really hard to try and build throughout the film is unfortunately removed. Annihilation is a great combination, I think, of the bleak and the beautiful. It's bleak storytelling, but it's told through beautiful visuals, and it's definitely worth checking out if you're a huge sci-fi fan. And I think it's pretty well focused, pretty well acted, and fairly well written. I'm going to give Annihilation 4 stars.
Can you describe its form?
No.
Start from the beginning.
So guys, what did you think of Annihilation? Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this, and don't forget to flick me a like and subscribe, and remember, a weekend watching movies is a weekend well spent. Thanks heaps for watching. Annihilation is a great combination of the bleak and the beautiful. That might be a TV show.